Dennis is an entertaining keynote speaker and trainer. He is a highly successful businessman who has achieved millions of dollars in revenues, and he had his first business when he was 9 years old, and it wasn't a lemonade stand. As an author of 5 books, he is known for showing people how to transform adversity into triumph. Dennis Nurmela has been heard by millions of people around the world, from stage and on radio and TV. And as a professor at leading universities, he's taught business and communication and holds postgraduate degrees in leadership and organizational studies. He is multi-talented. He served on a prestigious congressional advisory board and was a successful stand-up comic. Ooh, yeah, I love it. He's going to have a lot of jokes. His personal stories are captivating. Audiences love him. He specializes in showing individuals and organizations how to overcome obstacles and achieve high levels of success in their personal lives and careers. Dennis helps people and organizations change for the better. His business and communication skills are considered to be the best of the best. Dennis uses scientifically proven neuro-linguistic and nonverbal speech patterns seamlessly in his keynote speeches, which increases your audience's reception and retention of his message. He has achieved extraordinary levels of success in his personal life and business, and he is definitely an interesting, dynamic, and fun speaker. Dennis, are you ready to come on the air?
Oh, I was born ready.
He was born ready. Awesome.
You got it.
Well, you are now live, Dennis, and thank you so much for coming on today. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm very excited.
Oh, yeah, Chris. Yeah, if our conversation the other day was any idea of what it's going to be like today, it's going to be incredible.
Yes, absolutely. So, Dennis, let's dive into a little bit more about your background and how you got to where you are today. What's that journey been like, and share about that with our audience.
Absolutely. Well, I can identify with a lot of people because I was one of those guys who built a lot of companies. Yes, I served in the Air Force. I had a medical career. But in spite of all that, I always have had a company since I was 9 years old and have built some multi-million-dollar companies, as you mentioned. I've crashed some others to the ground at raging speeds, and so which truly qualifies me as an entrepreneur. And, I was one of those who built these companies without any college degree. So I do have them now. But at the time, I was one of those guys that was like, you know what, just take some rich dude out to eat and say, hey, help me. What do I got to do? And spend some time at the library, that thing before the internet, and learn and read. And so I'm one that I've continued to promote my own ability to learn and grow. I read 2,000 words a minute. I listen to books at double speed, which actually gets my running time a little faster if I'm doing it while I'm listening. But you actually pay closer attention when it's faster.
Wow.
And you retain it better. Wow. So, in fact, let me give you an example. If I were interviewing on your radio show like this, you're going to be thinking about your grocery list and other things. But if I told you, oh my gosh, my grandkids, let me tell you about what happened the other day. All of a sudden now you're tuned in, right?
Yes.
So if you really want to learn better, you got to learn faster. And anyway, that's a little bit. My background has all been about trying to improve the way that I learn and grow and do things. We got to learn from the mistakes and the bad things that happen to us and take them as a lesson and throw them in our sack and utilize them and look at them from time to time. So that's been my background. Mostly high tech and medical companies have been the bigger companies that I've run, but I've coached a lot of people in many, many industries. So that's been my business background.
And how did you get into coaching? Like, how did that happen?
I had people start asking me, how did you do that? And the same thing I used to do, ask other people, what is it that I need to do? And so once people started asking me, and I got tired of giving it for free because I really ran out of time. I would love to. I help youth for free, by the way. I do run a nonprofit called the Yes Place, the Young Entrepreneur Success Place. In fact, that's where our studio is located. We have a television studio and this radio studio. The city of Murrieta gave us about 2,000 square feet in their business incubation building.
Wow.
And gosh, I could probably move the camera around here. Out there is our classroom and a dry erase board.
Wow.
All kinds of cool stuff outside the studio here. And we help youth age 12 to 25 start their own businesses through seminars, one-on-one coaching, and through radio and television shows. So love doing that. Love being an international keynote speaker. I love studying the science of speaking and communication. So that's a little bit of my background.
Awesome. And about the studying, where did you get this bent or this desire to master communication and master influencing people and having you have the best life? It sounds like.
Well, I'll tell you, I have that tendency to want to understand how things work. And, some of you can relate, it's like you want to dig into it. Yeah. Well, I've had to learn to balance between, I used to try to start a business and I would dig into it. I'd make sure I got just the right perfect letterhead and logo. And, by the time I got everything perfect, the opportunity was gone. I didn't think about the fact I got to go get customers. Right. Now I go get customers and then work on the details of a business. Yeah. But to answer your question, the way I really got into studying like how we communicate non-verbally, the FBI guys that can figure out whether somebody's lying or not with their eye movement. I not only understand that stuff, I used to teach that stuff to my hiring managers so that they can hire and tell whether or not someone's telling the truth that's interviewing. Because I think the more that we know, the more we can accomplish. Knowledge is gold. In a business, your list is gold. But for your own personal life, knowledge is the gold.
Wow. And so you help young entrepreneurs or young kids learn entrepreneurship, and you give them access to this gold that you've discovered for yourself, something both, right? Learning how to build a business, and that's really, I feel like we're able to create our life exactly how we want it. And I've always heard, if we want the fastest, most deepest course in personal development, go start a business.
Yeah. It'll open the opportunity for that learning to happen. Yes. So it's definitely, it's exciting to know. I'll share a couple. How long am I on with you, by the way?
About 40 minutes. Another 40 minutes.
Awesome. Okay, good. I can share a lot of stuff with you then.
Yeah.
So you may not know this, but and your listeners may not know this, but in the late 70s, I just want you to know what's going on around you, okay? And in the late 70s, Congress made it illegal to use subliminal advertising visually, okay? Now, at the time, I was assistant manager of a movie theater. We ran our own movies. Now, I want to preface with what I'm about to tell you. With the fact that it was still legal at the time that I did the thing that I'm going to tell you I did. Okay. But we thought, why would they make it illegal? I don't understand what is subliminal advertising. Well, at the time, about 28 frames would go through a projector in a second. So if you put one frame of like popcorn or Coke or something like that, then the subconscious mind will see it. But even if you're the guy that put it in there, you cannot consciously see that thing. Wow. So we thought, let's try it. So we put like a thing of Coke or a thing of popcorn during the previews of a movie. Our sales at the concession stand doubled. Oh my gosh. So then, me being totally weird, and my manager was gone this one night, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try something totally weird. So it was the last movie of the night. I told the girl at the concession stand, keep the concession stand open. And so it was like 11:30 at night or something, right? Yeah. And I put one frame of popcorn at the end of a movie. 10 people bought popcorn to take home because they were hungry for popcorn.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so here's the part you need to know. It's not illegal to use audio subliminal advertising.
Wow.
So many stores will use it, and there's no problem with them being able to say stuff like, you want a tall glass of milk right now, or you would look great in a new sweater. They can do that, and some stores do that.
Wow.
Now, so you need to know that that's happening. And in fact, in the about the mid or late 80s, the retail experts said, you know what? Let's use this subliminal advertising to reduce shoplifting. Okay? Now, put a bookmark there. Okay? I'm going to teach you something else about the way your mind works.
Okay.
Our mind does not understand negatives, and it thinks in pictures.
Okay.
So I want all of you, all your listeners right now, and you to please do what I'm asking you to do right now. Okay? I want you to do not, under any circumstance, do not think of a red car. It's really hard to not do something because your brain just listen. In fact, I keep that other bookmark still there, okay?
Okay.
And this is called an open loop in NLP, by the way. So keeping you listening to me because you know I want to finish that other story. So you go back. I'm opening the curtains, right? I'm letting you know what's going on.
Yeah.
So, which by the way is a great parenting tip for you. When you tell your kids, don't jump on the couch, don't touch the hot stove, don't run in the street. All their mind hears is jump on the couch, touch the hot stove, run the street. Okay? Don't think of a red car. So back to the story. So the retail experts started putting subliminal advertising that said, don't take that. Don't steal. Don't red car.
Wow.
Shoplifting went up.
Oh my gosh.
And they were like, what? So they went to the psychologist experts and said, what's going on? And they explained the whole red car theory. That's my own name for it. And so they switched it now. Now tell me if this hasn't happened to you. Now shoplifting has gone down because now they say stuff like, I can see you. I'm watching you. Leave that there.
Wow.
So if you've ever been at a store and you thought somebody was looking at you and you look and there's nobody there, it might be because you heard something subliminally.
Wow.
All right, why do I share all this? Because I want you to be aware of what's going on around you in the world.
Wow.
When a speaker's speaking to you, if they know what they're doing, they're talking you into something, or they're bringing you into their story using sensory modalities, all the senses, sight, sound, hearing, sight, same thing, I'm going to double emphasize that. So anyway, that's
people have different major modalities, right? Some people are very visual, some people are very kinesthetic about feeling, some people are very auditory.
Right. So you hit all those things and you can draw people into your story you're telling by using those. In fact, I'll give away a secret too for anybody that's a speaker out there. If you're using sensory modalities, am I okay that I just keep rambling?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, good. All right.
Yes.
So if anybody's got questions or something, by the way,
I'll let you
feel
know.
free to jump in there. So the other thing I want to tell you about all this modality stuff is that one of the strongest emotional ones that brings up emotional memories is the sense of smell. Now, put a bookmark there, okay? We're going to go back. I want you to pretend to close your eyes for a minute and imagine that you're a kid and you're at the Thanksgiving dinner or whatever your family reunion thing is or something, and you're sitting at the kid little table and just remember the visual things that were around you, what people were wearing, who was there, what the plates looked like, what was on the walls, what kind of furniture was there, and it'll bring back some memories. But tell me if it doesn't bring back emotional memories when I ask you to pretend to close your eyes again now, and now I want you to remember what it smelled like when they took the pies out of the oven, or what did your grandmother or grandfather's aftershave or perfume smell like, especially if they passed away now. That brings back huge emotions. So that's you can pretend to open your eyes now. And and keep in mind, now that then pulls in, if you want emotional memories. Why is that? Well, I like to dig, right? So the olfactory nerves in your nose travel through the limbic lobes of your brain, which is where they feel that emotional memories are stored. Biologically, that's why it works.
Wow.
So,
science. Gotta love it. I love science.
Science backs up all this stuff. And that's, I'm reading your mind that you're going to ask me about my therapy stuff that I do with my clients next. So
yes,
great, Chris. Thank you for asking. So I've become what people call an expert hobbyist in neurolinguistics and body language. And then I did accidentally become a internationally board certified clinical hypnotherapist as well. Wow. Because I attended the training. I thought hypnotherapy was something that was kin to palm reading. You know, I was a leader in my church, and I'm a volunteer chaplain at my local hospital, and I had no idea what it was. It was one of those like, I don't know, I don't want to ask, right? But it was being taught by a great friend of mine who I really trusted that taught a lot of my NLP courses. And I thought, I'm going to go and I'm going to try to steal some ideas that I can use when I speak. But I was never going to see a client or something. I never wanted to have the label of being a hypnotherapist.
Right.
So I went and I learned that all hypnosis is it's getting your mind. Okay, there's like 5 main brain waves, which if you go to my website, myconsciouscoach.com, I have a video on there where I've got actually an EEG reader on my head, and I show you how hypnosis works scientifically. There's actually the 2 brain waves that you really want to pay attention to is the alpha and the beta. So right now, you guys and myself, we all have our beta wave higher right now because, I'm thinking, okay, what I'm going to say next. These people are listening to me. You guys are going, this dude is weird. What's he talking about? What's he going to say next? So that means that our conscious mind is the primary right now. It's the most alert. Now, when our subconscious mind is more active, the alpha wave is higher. And I could show that on the EEG. That's what happens in hypnosis. Now, a hypnotherapist doesn't need an EEG. We can read body language and tell by the facial muscles and all that stuff. But it is definitely adds some credibility to see that the brain waves actually change.
Yes.
And we are in a state of hypnosis when we are, of course, in clinical hypnotherapy, when we are in deep meditation or prayer, when we are almost asleep at night, and when we are sitting on the couch watching television.
Oh, my gosh.
Because that's how we remember the jingles from all those commercials without ever practicing them. So all hypnosis is bringing somebody to a state where their alpha wave is higher and then tell them all those positive self-talk things that they've been trying to tell themselves forever that their conscious mind has said, yeah, right. And then it accepts them.
So that it literally affects the neurological connections more. It bypasses some kind of filter. Like, do you know like what's going on in our brain that actually happens?
Yes, it actually creates more synaptic connections in your brain with your nerve cells, and it creates these new patterns of positiveness. So I totally believe in positive self-talk. But at all these seminars, they teach you to do it at the wrong time in the wrong place. They tell you to get up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, I'm handsome, or I'm beautiful, or I'm successful. Right. And when we say that, we have the stimulation of visual looking at ourselves in the mirror. And if we just got out of the shower, that might be scary. And we have our conscious mind that with good intent is trying to keep us from accepting lies. So when we say, I'm handsome, then the conscious mind says, oh, okay, maybe except for that little spot on your face that you've hated since 3rd grade.
So I got a question. If our conscious mind heard us bringing ourselves down, saying I look like crap, would it attempt to stop that as well?
No, because it'll justify it.
Wow.
Because
the conscious mind wants to keep us safe, and if we bring ourselves down, then we'll feel it's like smaller and be more safe, ultimately, quote unquote.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. Yeah, it's like, let's not take risk.
Yeah.
Because risk is not what the conscious mind is all about. Wow. The conscious mind is to protect us. So if you want to do positive self-talk, that's great. Do it while you're laying in bed before you fall asleep.
Yes.
That's when you do it. That's when your mind is most susceptible to receive it. Your conscious mind is still alert. Even when you're in hypnosis, you're not asleep like the stage, a hypnotherapist do. You're not really asleep. You're conscious. And you need to be conscious because your conscious mind, like when I see a client, we do an interview, we find out the actual words that will work the best for them, okay? Because it's not the same for everybody. I mean, you can listen to a non-smoking or weight loss, hypnosis tape or whatever, but it wasn't built for you personally. Somebody who's trying to be more confident, the word change might scare them, but the word adventurous might be really cool for them. So I'm going to use the word adventurous, not change. Yeah. And so we do this interview, and during the interview, their conscious mind says, yeah, those words work. Okay. And then we relax them to the point where they can then receive those words and totally accept them.
Wow.
So their conscious mind already gave clearance to use those words.
And that's through the brain patterns that you're able to see?
Yeah, you can see when their alpha wave is higher. Yeah. So okay, it's time. But like I say, you can tell that by the body anyway.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right.
I do sessions all the time over Skype. I don't even have to have them in my presence. Hypnosis can be done over the phone too. You can listen to, if you're really, really tuned in, you can listen to their voice inflection change and all that stuff. And so it's just a matter of you being in charge of your mind rather than your mind being in charge of you. So, and all I do is give my clients the tools, teach them how to do it. They're the ones that make it work, not me.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have to be consciously choosing to want to grow and implement this stuff. And I know you said that there's nobody who can like do mind control, because we have to want it, right? We have to want to succeed and want that programming that we're taking in.
Right, it's got to be from you. In fact, one of my clients, I always correct her because she's always like, "I need to come see you again. I need you to go in my brain and fix some things." I don't do that. I'm going to help you go in your brain and fix some things,
Awesome. So Dennis, let's start diving into these eternal success principles.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I'm known as the Yes Man.
Yes.
I run the Yes Place. So yes is a good positive word, by the way.
It is.
It is. Yes Place is Young Entrepreneur Success Place. But being the Yes Man and the Yes Principles that you asked about, that stands for Your Eternal Success Principles. And I do speak on those a lot. It is really about setting goals that won't be fully fulfilled in your life so that your life can be fully fulfilled. Now, what I mean by that is setting legacy goals, goals that the finish line is beyond your death. So the future generations have to take the baton and run with it, which means you got to organize the heck out of what it is you want to accomplish so that someone else can take the script and run with it. Yes. So that's really what I believe, that if we really want to make a difference in this world, we need to make a difference in more than just our lifetime.
Wow. That's awesome. And then right now you're currently opening more of these Yes Places to impact more people's lives. And I know you mentioned that you have plans for that to keep growing after you're gone.
Correct. Yeah, my goal is to have a Yes Place in every city around the world, like a YMCA, but for young entrepreneurs. Yeah. And I'm really excited. I have there's a partnership between a well-known 40-year-old magazine in China and the Central Chinese government. And together they're bringing me once a year to do a speaking tour about young entrepreneurship in China. I'll be going there in October, will be my first time. And then once or twice a year, I'll be headed there to speak some more on that. And we'll start our first Yes Place in China while we're there. So we're really excited about that. We have a school there, a private school that's interested in starting a Yes Place club. And so I know that in my lifetime I will not see a Yes Place in every city around the world, but 200 or 300 of them would be great.
Yes. Yes.
That's my passion for that nonprofit to grow.
And how did you find this passion about developing the Yes Place? I'm curious, like, how that started. Did you see that? Did you have some kind of indicator of that value that you wanted to bring to the world when you were like 20 or 30 or,
45.
How long?
When I was 45.
45. Okay.
Yep. That was my magic year for some reason. That's when I did my soul searching. I had already built big companies and all this. And I had that conversation with myself that many of us have, sometimes multiple times in our lives. What do I really want to do when I grow up? And I thought, okay, what is it? I've started businesses in so many different industries that it must be business that's my passion. And then I realized it wasn't. It really, as I soul searched, I realized that it's the art of creation that I was really passionate about. And creating, taking an idea and turning it into a business. I'm starting another new business, the Mind Massage Spas, I might talk about later. But, it's an idea, and it's like you mix massage and hypnosis and all that, and it sounds great. And so I'm making it a real thing that will employ people and grow and be franchised and all that. So I love creating new things. So I thought, okay, what can I do when I'm 150 and have a walker? That other than starting a new business, what else is creating? And that's when I realized that my real love was teaching what I know. And by teaching, and there's not a lot of money in teaching, so you got to get creative with it. But I realize it's an even higher calling to help create creators. And that's truly what I do with the Yes Place. That was my inspiration. I started off by one of the books I wrote was called The Saturday Morning CEO. And we started the Saturday Morning CEO radio show, the Saturday Morning Success television talk show. We've had some great guests, Tom Ziegler and Osmond and Nathan Osmond and a whole bunch of folks from the Osmond family there and some others. And anyway, it was great. And we were filming at a college. And the college said, by this time I had now, at age 45, by the way, is when I went back to school, too, to get a degree.
Wow.
And got my bachelor's and accidentally got my master's. And then I'm partway through a doctorate that I'm on academic hold right now because I'm like way too busy. But they said, can you teach some classes here? So I taught some business classes. And then they said, can you teach entrepreneurship class for some at-risk youth in an underserved area? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. That's where the Yes Place was born. Can I tell you a quick story about that?
Yes, please.
So I was going around the room finding out everybody's experience in sales or teamwork or any kind of business principle. And I got everything from the lemonade stand to helping mom and dad sell stuff at garage sales to selling chocolates at school. I get to this one kid, Eduardo, and Eduardo, I said, what's your story? He said, well, he's got his arms crossed and his chair scooted away from the table, head kind of cocked to the side. And he said, well, last week I just got out of the big house, 2 years and 8 months. I was the mastermind of a gang that was stealing cars and dealing drugs. Does that count? And he gave me that look like, expecting me to go, next. Yeah. And instead I said, well, it sounds like you know how to move a product, you know how to build a team. I went through all these business principles. I said, so far you have more experience than anybody else here. You just have to learn how to do it within the limits of the law. And so we figured out during that little class that he has a passion for cars. He just had to learn how to fix them and then give them back to the owner. And so he now has his own car repair business. In fact, he's got a car that I just bought that he just painted the other day. So I'll pick that up from him. But that was the inspiration to start Yes Place. Was I saw, because the light came on in his eyes, and with, I think he had 3 felonies. It was kind of hard to get a job. But to start his own business, there's nothing stopping him from doing that. He wanted to be a good citizen and do things right. And that's what he's doing now. Wow. So I've had lots of stories like that. That's what keeps me motivated. And that's why I see this passion of helping youth. Yes, I help adults. Yeah, I've got lots of coaching clients and all that great stuff. But it's the kids that I get the most from. And I'm very expensive as a coach, but I get great results. So I'm very expensive, but I'm free for the kids. Wow. And the kids who recognize that and they recognize the potential in themselves. Oh gosh. Yeah. I feel like how many CEOs that have built multi-million-dollar companies are running a nonprofit to help kids? It's just not out there. So, I've really got like zero competition, if you want to call it that. Yeah. So that's why I got to grow this thing all over the world.
Wow. That's incredible. And did you know that you wanted to, so you said you owned businesses since you were 9. Did you know that you wanted to, I guess, keep working businesses and be able to impact people's lives? Like, was that an important part for you, like the impact and legacy, or did that all happen at 45?
I think it started kind of rearing its head a little bit when I was younger. But, when we're younger, we tend to get in business to make money. And that's our main motivator. And as we start making money, we start making and building relationships. And, we realize that customers aren't customers. Customers can be your friends. Your clients can become your friends or even extended family in some cases. And all of a sudden, your whole idea of what business is adjusts itself. And I think about the time that you have that adjustment, you realize that business is not just about making money. In fact, that's not even the priority. The priority is solving problems for people so that they're happy and that they're grateful to you. Well, then what happens? They refer their friends and you make money.
Yes.
So we get it backwards when we're younger. So I would say that realization came when I was older, after I had matured as a business person.
Beautiful, beautiful. So is that a part of these success principles? Like, do you have a specific number of these principles, or is it just this philosophy that kind of covers everything that you do?
Yeah, this is the first. Well, I've written one book traditionally through a regular publisher, and then self-published a bunch of other books. I'm writing book 5 and 6 right now.
Wow.
Which I should. I'm going to answer your question for you about the Yes principles, but I want to just jump back and talk about another book I'm writing called 26.2 Goals, and it's. I just ran the LA Marathon. Lost 80 pounds in the last couple of years. I don't know where it went. And I'm glad to have lost it.
Congratulations, man.
Well, and oh wait, that's not a word to use. I released 80 pounds because when you lose something, your mind thinks I have to find it.
Yes.
So let me correct myself and tell you that I released 80 pounds. And so we're writing a book on how to accomplish goals, and we use the marathon as as kind of a tool. And I'm co-authoring it with my running coach and some other folks. So the other book, though. Yes Principles, I'm doing through a regular publisher. I've got an editor working with me, and we will have a certain number of principles. We have a working list right now, but some of the things are, learning what you don't know that you don't know. How like some of the things that I'm sharing about ninja communication and all that. Yeah. My goal for people that are listening to me right now is that they just should have way more questions when they leave listening to me, and they want to go Google and YouTube, body language and nonverbal communication and all this kind of stuff and neurolinguistics. Yes. And so that's one of the principles, is that we need to learn the things that we don't know. Our schools are not equipped yet, for eternal goals, setting eternal goals. They're tasked with training youth to work in jobs in industries that don't exist yet. And how can they do that? They're failing at that. They need to teach them how to think and create.
Yes.
Because some of those kids are going to create those new industries that don't exist yet. Wow. But anyway, those are kind of some of the principles that we've got to have to set these long-term goals. Where is our focus?
Do you feel that, because how the education system is set up now, do you feel like there will be someone or organization that comes in and helps the government and helps get it right, or do you think it'll become privatized, and then that way the people who actually make the difference and deliver the value and change kids' lives, like yours, right? Or it's not really privatized, but it's like, it's out of the government's hands, so to speak. Do you think that's going to happen?
I think that's already happening.
Yeah.
When you attend seminars and read books and take online courses, one of the things that Yes Place is doing is we're also creating Yes College. And Yes College, you'll be able to take, our goal is to be an accredited, regionally accredited college. Wow. That you'll be able to take courses all about success. So that's our goal. And you may get some certificates. So there may be some later on, maybe some degrees and stuff like that, but it is not going to be the typical. So you really hit an area that we're trying to do a lot of work in.
Yeah, and I love.
We want to change it. I don't think the government will catch up with.
No way. No.
No.
It's like big corporations that they're huge and they're well established, but they're not agile. They're not nimble. They can't keep up with all the innovation that's happening and as fast as it's happening, because it's crazy how fast things are changing.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah, you got to your very best teacher you're ever going to have lives in your own head.
Yes.
That's it. When I'm interviewed, I got to share this with you too, because
yes.
I had somebody ask me one time. A lot of folks like yourself that interview other people, always ask who inspires you the most. Who's your mentor and all that stuff. And I've got lots of mentors. I have a lot of people that I've learned from, but the person who inspires me the most, and this is who I think ought to be your best teacher also. The person I speak to the most when it comes to what should I be doing next is the Dennis Nurmela of the future. I mean, that person is real.
Yes.
And, if you look at some of Einstein's theories and all this time relativity thing and all that stuff, that dude exists.
Yes.
And I have conversations with him. I mean, you guys already can probably tell that I'm a little wacko, but
me too.
I asked him,
yes.
Yeah. I'm like, how did you get to where you are? How did you get through the thing I'm going through right now?
Wow.
To get to where you are right now?
Wow.
And that's how I find the answers to overcome some of the most impossible challenges that I've been through in my life.
How long have you been doing that?
Oh, probably at least 15 years.
Wow, that's awesome. Did
So
that
yeah,
come from Napoleon Hill's? What is that? The cabinet. He created like his own. He would close his eyes and visualize these people like Gandhi and Jesus and stuff, and he'd have a council, the invisible counselor technique, I think is what it's called. And basically, he would communicate with these people, and we can literally like have a conversation. And after doing it enough times, like you said,
yes.
that person literally becomes real, and like we can see them and feel them and touch them almost.
Yeah, I'm sure it was somewhat inspired by that. I can't say that, oh yeah, that was the thing that clicked and made me do that.
Yeah.
It's just, I think a lot of times I have a close relationship with God too. And, so I'm big into prayer and asking him stuff, but he helps to inspire me, but the education that I get from my future self it's almost like, it's hard to explain. When I started this, I think it started just kind of accidentally. I just started thinking in the future. One of the things I use is a technique that I use that I'll share with your audience here too.
Okay.
Is called future positive visualization. Okay. And you can use this for yourself, or you can use it for others. So, Chris, let's say that you're a college student and you have a test tonight. Now, I could be a good friend and say, hey, good luck on that test tonight. I hope you study well. I hope all the answers come to you. Good luck, buddy. Or, because I'm a weirdo, I know how to
even better friend.
Yeah, I'm a better friend. Instead, I'm going to say, Chris, you know what? Imagine that it's tomorrow morning and you wake up and you feel so good because you did so well on that test last night. Oh my gosh, the answers just came to you. You had studied so well for it. Now you got the day ahead of you of peace and tranquility because you did so well on that test. Now, a lot of people, when I share that with them, they almost feel bad that they don't have a test tonight. Because what happens is by placing you in the future tomorrow morning and giving you a positive feeling and helping you feel that feeling, your subconscious mind will now figure out how to get you there. One of my clients couldn't eat vegetables. She had a terrible gag reflex when she would even think about broccoli and cauliflower and all this stuff. And, I see clients on business stuff, but this was a personal thing. And she was trying to eat more vegetables. So, she would literally sometimes throw up in her mouth if she smelled broccoli. Wow. She had a real solid biological reaction problem. So we found out what words worked for her, and we did the hypnosis. And I see on Facebook later that day, OMG, I had broccoli for dinner. I was like, what? And I talked to her months later. She did a testimonial video for me. It's actually on my website, the myconsciouscoach.com. And she said that what happened is, and it wasn't my suggestion nor hers, but because we visualized her trying vegetables and feeling good about that, her subconscious mind shut off the smell of broccoli. She said she could put broccoli to her nose, take a big whiff, and smell nothing. So your subconscious mind is so powerful if you let it do the work for you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I totally resonate with that, the about the future, right? Putting yourself in the future.
Yep.
I've had a lot of people ask me, how do you succeed in an interview? Well, what's the outcome that you want to have in the interview? At the end of the interview, how do you want them to be feeling? How do you want to be feeling? It's
right.
You want them seeing you. This is definitely the person that we want. You want you seeing yourself like, this is the best place I could possibly be, and you just put yourself in that peak energy, excitement state that it's all working out.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So transport yourself into the future, or transport a friend into the future in your conversation.
Wow. That's awesome.
And use
especially if they're stuck. Especially if someone's stuck or they're worried or they're nervous, anxious, you can help them out, like make a real difference for them by doing that.
Oh, yeah. Imagine you're walking off the stage. You just gave that talk, and they're all cheering and standing up and loving it, right? We all take somebody to the off stage. Wow. You're walking off stage feeling so good. Just feel that now.
Wow. That sounds like a pretty interesting technique if anybody's a coach out there, to do the end of every session, right? To put someone in that future of, hey, what are you living into? How good does that feel? Spend like 2-3 minutes at the end of every session. And I know if at the beginning and end, that's what people remember. So if you start off at the beginning with a, hey, great hello, energized, what's your biggest win of the week? And at the end you say, all right, let's keep reminding ourselves of where we're going to be in the future, where you're going to be in the future. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think those are some big things that that are important. So I think there's, I've got a lot of folks that I've either interviewed or become good friends with over the years. In fact, I don't know if I've mentioned my speaker's website too, but if you go to theyesman.org, you can watch a video there about my speaking career.
Yep.
You'll see some of the places I've spoken before. I just got back from Mexico, Puerto Vallarta last week, speaking to a business group there. What a rough life, right? Speak for an hour, stay for the week. They pay for you and your wife to come, go snorkeling, zip lining. Oh, yeah.
Darn.
It was a rough job to speak for that hour. Yeah. And, well, there was prep time, too. But anyway, feel free to visit my site, and you can learn a little bit about what else I talk about.
Yeah,
some of the folks that I associate with.
You were mentioning about Ninja Communication. Was there anything else that you wanted to hit on that topic?
Yeah, I think I brought a bunch of that up right now with understanding how to speak with people.
Yeah.
How to speak with your own mind. That before you go to sleep at night.
Yes. That's
a biggie right there for you.
Yes.
And in reading body language, yeah, I will share some body language stuff. Most people, I don't have a lot of room here, so I'll kind of try to stand up here. Okay. But if somebody shows you the palms of their hands, for instance, okay, this is just neurolinguistic studies. Mm-hmm. If somebody shows you the palms of the hands, chances are they're telling you the truth. So if you ask somebody, did you see my car keys? No, I looked around. I looked in the couch cushions. I didn't see them. If they're showing you their hands, most likely they're telling you the truth.
Wow.
If you say, oh, did you see my car keys anywhere? No, I didn't. I didn't see those anywhere. Now you think that dude's got my keys in his pocket. Just kind of reading the body language.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, you can kind of force somebody to be truthful by showing your hands a lot to them. So hey, did you happen to see my car keys or whatever it is? And by showing your hands, it kind of shows, look, I have no weapons. I am, I'm open. Yeah. I'm vulnerable. And you can't help but, if somebody's being vulnerable, it's real hard to try to manipulate them.
Yes.
Yeah. So the show of palms, that's just one thing. I'll teach you another thing. If you are going to a networking meeting, this is huge. A lot of times people are most comfortable, like even here over the air, we can only see us from here up, right? But our feet and our legs tell so much about us. Wow. That's why most people are most comfortable in interviews, like at a conference table or a desk, because you don't really think about your legs. Right. You walk into a networking meeting and you see a group of people standing around, and you want to walk up and become part of that group. All right? So you kind of walk near them, and if you notice, I'm going to use this as my feet here, okay? So this guy's feet are pointed into the circle, okay? But you walk up a little bit on this side, and you see one of his feet kind of turn towards you, even though he may not turn towards you. One foot does. Yeah. Well, that means he's aware of your existence there, and that person is probably going to be the person that will introduce you in the group or move back a little bit so you can join them.
Wow.
So you watch people's feet. If you're talking to somebody and their feet are both pointed towards you, it means they're really focused and paying attention to you. If, however, one of the feet starts to move away while you're talking and you happen to glance and notice that, you might want to set them free because they're going to appreciate that, because you were able to kind of read their mind. You knew what they were thinking by looking at their body language.
Yeah.
So the study of body language and also to make sure that you don't oversell things. I teach my clients how to read their customers, because most salespeople will oversell. Oh, I forgot this point. And did I tell you about this other feature here? And even if you're a good salesperson, you're selling benefits instead of features. If you're overselling benefits, the dude was ready to buy, and now he's like, okay, when are you going to be done? Maybe I can find this car down the road. Maybe there's a better price. Now their brain's wandering because they were already sold, and you missed the opportunity to allow them to buy from you. Instead, you're trying to sell to them. By not reading the body language. All we're doing is going through a list in our mind, and we think this is supposed to work for everybody. And so it takes away the whole relationship. And relationship, I would say that, 80, 90% of relationship is all nonverbal. You think about that with your loved one, just sitting on the couch. You don't have to be talking. You can, hold hands. You can just lightly brush against each other, or, just the way that you're turned towards each other. Your subconscious mind reads all that stuff. So that's, when you say you're following your gut, what you're doing is you're following what your subconscious mind is figuring out from everybody that you're looking at. You walk into a room and you see somebody and all these people are attracted to them. And you go, gosh, I'd like to talk to that person too. And then you look over to the other person and you go, whoa, what's up with them? Maybe they're standing too close to somebody or their eyebrows are weird or something. You don't know what it is. You're following your gut. You're like, I don't trust that person. I don't know why, but I don't trust that person. It's because your subconscious mind is picking up all this body language cue that is telling you good or bad things. And so if you consciously become aware of those things, by teaching yourself those things, you don't have to consciously run through the list anymore. Wow. You can now trust your subconscious mind even more because you know that it knows what to do.
Yeah, I was going to say something because right now we may not have the ability to put that into words, right? It might just be this feeling that we have, an intuition, a gut feeling, subconsciously stay away or go there, right? We get this feeling, draws or pushes away. In the future, I'm really excited because with technology, we're going to have those feelings and the brain responses and what's going on in our body, the chemical responses and stuff. It's going to actually be processed into a message that we can understand more clearly, right? Like, let's say we have augmented reality glasses and we get this feeling of excitement and we see a message that comes up on the screen, go over there. Talk to her.
Right. That's pretty good. I like that. That's pretty funny. Yeah, we do. Our subconscious mind, if we allow it to, think about it. When you're reading a book, your conscious mind doesn't keep interrupting you going, dude, this is only ink and paper. It doesn't keep interrupting you. It allows you to feel like you're one of the characters or a movie. You're watching The Matrix and somebody's running up the walls and on the ceiling and stuff. Your conscious mind doesn't go, dude, let's get out of here. That's not normal. It lets you feel like, get him, go get him.
Yes.
Now, if you saw that happen in the frozen food section of the supermarket, your conscious mind is going to go, let's get the heck out of here. What the heck's going on? But your conscious mind will allow your subconscious mind to create augmented reality or virtual reality by reading books, watching movies. I do a thing with my clients too, where you can pretend to close your eyes for a minute. I don't know if it'll work this quickly or not, but imagine you're sitting in a chair in your house and get up to go to the refrigerator and there's a big bowl of Myers lemons, which I grow in my yard. Oh my gosh, they're so sweet. Pick one up and smell it. Oh my gosh, and then go over to the cutting board and cut it. Oh, take a big bite of that thing right now. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so sweet. Do you notice more saliva in your mouth now than you did before?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you do it longer, it really even makes your whole mouth, you have a biochemical reaction to something that isn't real. You might have smelt the lemon. You might have tasted the lemon. Ooh, it's sour.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really here. We promise we did not send them over the internet to you if you just watch this. So anyway, if we can trust our subconscious mind, and we only trust it when we actually know what it's doing. So the education of what our subconscious mind is doing is going to help us to trust it more. And then guess what? You don't have to work as hard. Then you can follow your gut with greater trust.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Awesome. So Dennis, I'm loving this, and let's begin to wrap it up with the last minute, eternal success principles, mindset shifts on being able to set goals that people won't be able to fully fulfill on their lives, and any other last minute messages you want people to take away.
Absolutely. So here, let me tie this all together for you. The science, the speaking, the way we communicate, the nonverbal, all this stuff. And I'll tell you that wherever your real source of strength and energy comes from, that I believe in God. A lot of people believe in the energies of the universe or of the earth or whatever it may be that you believe in. If you can tie that to understand, I believe that since it's God, I'll use that as an example. I believe that God communicates to us through our subconscious mind. And we get our strength through our subconscious mind. And that's why we need to be quiet. That's why we need to learn to meditate. That's why we need to learn to listen, because that's where the strength comes from. So the more we can understand our subconscious mind, the greater the communication between our conscious and subconscious, the more we get to know our creator, our energy force, or whatever it is that you believe that you come from. That's where it's at. So the more you learn about that, the more gold nuggets you get about the essence of who you are, why you're here, where you're going, what your purpose is. All that stuff that we try to figure out is all wrapped up in understanding and communicating with our own subconscious mind.
Wow, subconscious mind. That is the gateway to everything that we desire. And it sounds like as long as we invest the time and the energy and choose to focus on it, choose to become better learners, equip ourselves with knowledge about that subconscious mind and how we work and what's important to us, our values and what we want to achieve on this lifetime, and be students, be studiers of the impact that we want to leave. How do we leave more impact? How do we grow and develop? It sounds like you are a master of that, Dennis, and thank you so much for sharing your information with us.
Oh, you're so welcome. I think everybody should be a master of their own mind. It's definitely a plus.
A plus.
Yeah.
It's mandatory.
It is mandatory. Well, too many people are just, too many sheeple out there, just say, what do I need to do? And tell me what to do. I'm running into that in China. In China, they come up with an idea. They want to keep it to themselves because they're afraid of sharing and interacting because somebody's going to steal the idea. And, it's a whole different concept to get them to open up their mind, to think on their own and not just be given a list of here's what you do. And it's amazing how many people are still in that mindset of just tell me what I got to do and I'll follow the steps. Well, you've got to create your own steps, So many different cliches out there that are worthwhile that, you dance to the beat of your own drummer and, all these little cliches are just, it's okay. I think God does not want us to just go, what do I do? Should I have Captain Crunch or Cheerios this morning? I need every decision answered by you. He wants us to be leaders. He or she or it or whatever you believe. I believe it's him, right? So I think God wants me to be a leader, and he wants me to help other people become leaders. Yes. Be a flagpole out there in the world that others are attracted to, and then teach them how to be a flagpole. That's truly it. Now, how do you keep yourself humble in that sense? You realize the purpose comes from God, from your own inner core drive and energy. That comes from somewhere else. But if we don't do everything we can with it, then we are not being a humble servant.
Wow. It's like we were born with everything that we could possibly need. We were born as perfect babies, and how we choose to use those gifts and the talents and channel that creation force is what really, like, the commitment behind it all, right? It's not so much like, hey, you have to go out and impact 1 billion people, but it's like, what's your commitment to using that, and are you committed to using it at the deepest level, and are your actions lined up with that commitment?
I have a brand new idea that I'm going to share on your show right now that just popped in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Life is a scavenger hunt for intellectual and spiritual gifts that you've been given.
Ooh.
I better record that one. Life is a scavenger hunt of intellectual and spiritual gifts that you've been given. And all we got to do is find them and use them. That would be my thought to leave everybody with, because I know we're out of time here. I can I can go on forever.
Oh, I'm sure we'll have you back on, man. This has been a joy and a privilege. And Dennis, seriously, thank you for everything that you're doing in the world, impacting kids, because a lot of people are out there, let's go make money and yada yada yada, but you're actually leaving the world a better place, leaving a legacy, man. That is so, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. And please, you guys feel free to follow me on Facebook if you want. If you go to fb.com, which I don't know if you guys know that, but that'll take you to Facebook. fb.com/WDENIS. My first name's really Wayne. There you go. So W, and then Dennis is spelled with one N. So WDENIS. You'll go to my profile. Please follow me. If you know me, then send a friend request. I'm getting close to the 5,000, so I've got some volunteers that may send you a message that says, how do you know Dennis? Because I get about 10 to 15 new friend requests a week. So if you know me and you get that message, please just let them know how you know me, and they'll add you. But follow me there. I'm on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in/WDENIS.
Okay.
You've got theyesman.org. Go to yesplace.org. Go to myconsciouscoach.com, and you'll learn everything you can about me. Search Dennis Nurmela on Google, and there's like 20 pages of junk. So, I mean,
of gold, 20 pages of gold.
I'm telling you, yeah, I'm like of gold. Thank you. I got to correct my own words. But I'm the only Dennis Nurmela in the world, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
So, and the only one with one N.
One N.
But there's not. I'm not aware of one that has two N's either. So, kind of cool to have a unique name. But find me, follow me. I'd love to chat with you again, Chris, and with any of your folks again.
Awesome, Dennis. Love you, man. Hope you have the best day ever, best week ever, and we'll talk soon.
All right. See you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.